As the U.S. economy continues to falter, a growing number of Americans are primarily blaming the Federal Reserve for the downturn. Recently, thousands of Americans gathered at various Federal Reserve locations nationwide to draw attention to this organization's polarizing practices as part of the National End the Fed rally. In San Antonio, over 50 protesters participated in the event, which included a half-mile march from the Federal Reserve Building to the Alamo, where literature was then handed out to members of the public.
Well, the Federal Reserve has devalued the dollar 95% since its birth in 1913, and it continues to print money out thin air, not backing it by any metal like gold or silver like it should be, and that continues to devalue our dollar. A partial audit of the Fed in July of 2011 showed $16 trillion in banker bailouts across the world, and the American people never got to vote on this, and this was only a partial audit of the Federal Reserve. I wonder what a full one would turn out.
President Woodrow Wilson stated that creating the Federal Reserve was a decision he greatly regretted. Currently, Ron Paul's Audit the Fed bill is in the Senate and has over 30 co-sponsors. However, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid has surprisingly stated he will not put the bill up for a vote, despite the fact that in past years he has heavily criticized the Federal Reserve. President Barack Obama rarely, if ever, talks about this issue. However, Mitt Romney has stated he does support the Audit the Fed bill. Now, do you think the Republicans will keep their promise to audit the Fed and reintroduce the gold standard if elected?
Seeing what they did in Tampa and what they did at our state convention, that they're not going to keep any promises. So if they somehow miraculously do get elected as president, they will not keep that promise. I mean, if you look at somebody like our governor, who's a Republican, Rick Perry, he says one thing and does another. I mean, he may say Constitution and liberty in a speech, but when it comes down to TSA and touching my daughter, he's all for it. So I highly doubt they will get elected, and I know for a fact they will not keep that promise.
Now, what are your thoughts on the fact that the media doesn't cover this event?
I think it's not surprising, but, you know, we did have coverage 2008, 2009. We had local media out here for End the Fed rallies, and they really did a good job of portraying us. And then around that time, the Audit the Fed bill actually does pass the House, and the media hasn't really come out since. The local media hasn't really covered it. So I think because, you know, the public is starting to make a difference and starting to make a headway in getting the Federal Reserve audited and possibly end it. So I don't think they really want to help that grassroots movement grow any more than it already is.
A Rasmussen poll taken earlier this year revealed that 50% of those questioned are confident in the U.S. banking system, while 47% lack confidence in the system. Another poll taken earlier this year revealed, however, that 58% of Americans believe the Fed will not be able to keep inflation under control. According to protesters, it is important that citizens continue drawing attention to this cause.
And then also the process of educating the public and informing the public what the Federal Reserve really is really beneficial, because then it just adds more people are going to put the pressure on the government. And, you know, it's a process the New World Order uses, pressure from above and pressure from below. And we got to use those tactics in our move to end the New World Order, to fight back this Illuminati banker scheme. We have to use pressure from above and pressure from below. And I think by understanding that, we can make a difference and defeat this New World Order and cut it at the root with the Federal Reserve.
Always fighting on behalf of liberty. For INFOWARS Nightly News, I'm David Ortiz.
My friends, Alex Jones here with a very important announcement. We are launching a new salvo in the info war, because there is a war on for your mind. You know that the globalists are trying to get everybody online and only online so they can control and surveil information and also erase books, videos, whatever they want to in mass. That's why we're launching our answer to the internet kill switch, INFOWARS magazine. The first issue, we printed over 90,000 copies of the September issue, and it's sold out in less than 2 days. So get your copy of the new technocratic elite issue today before it sells out. Again, we cover from the technocratic social engineers' own words, their own admissions, their plan to take over our society and replace us with robots. But we don't just stop with the rise of the robots and the end of humanity, or will humanity survive the singularity. We get into the government buying now 1.6 billion bullets against the American people. We get into Big Sis's surveillance of this magazine and my website, INFOWARS.com. We cover QE3 and what hyperinflation means to you and your family. Whatever you do, don't look back later and wish that you would have taken action. take action now. People have never been more ready for this information. People have never been this hungry, starving for the truth. And it is contained in the new issue of INFOWARS magazine. This is a time capsule. It is so important we get it out to everyone. If you subscribe now for 12 issues, we will give you the first issue absolutely free. So that's 13 issues for our 13 colonies, part of restoring the spirit of 1776 worldwide.
Again, go to InfoWarsStore.com and order 10 packs, up to 100 packs at cost, and give them out to people in your area. The response last month was incredible. People are hungry to actually hold this information in their hands. You can also subscribe and get 12 issues delivered to your door and get the first inaugural issue free. I'm Alex Jones, thanking all of you for your support and making our operation a huge success.